Okay, guys. Lesson 8.3, page 405. We're going to talk about properties of exponents. Pay careful attention. What does 3 to the 5th power mean? Three times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, right? Y'all agree? What does 3 to the 3rd power mean? Okay. So if I have 3 to the 5th times 3 to the 3rd, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 1, 2, 3. Y'all agree with me? So how many 3s am I multiplying together? 8. So that's equivalent to 3 to the 8th power. Okay? So what are you thinking about those exponents? What's it seem like happened there? You seem like you added your exponents, and that's exactly what you did. So let's look at another example. What if I have h squared times h to the 5th? What does h squared mean? H times h? What's h to the 5th mean? Okay. So that's really what? To the 7th. Now I want you to go back and look. We're going to do a whole bunch of variable problems, a whole bunch of these. Did I multiply 3 and 3 and get 6 or 9? Did I do that? No, I did not. I treated that just like I would treat a variable, and I just added the exponents. Well, what if I had this? What if I had 5 to the negative 2 times 5 squared? 5 to the negative 2 times 5 squared. If we're just adding exponents, what number are you going to get when you add them together? 0. And what's 5 to the 0? 1. Now let's look at it mathematically so that you understand why it works that way. 5 to the negative 2 power is what? 1 over 5 squared, right? Times 5 squared. So that's kind of like having 1/5 times 1/5 times 5 times 5. Which is, what you going to get in the bottom? 25? What you going to get in the top? 25. Is that going to equal 1? Yes. Any questions on that part? So if I have 2 to the 4th times 2 to the negative 3rd power, what's that answer going to be? 2 to the 1st. Okay? What if I have 7 to the negative 3 times 7 squared times 7 to the 6th? Once again, you just add your exponents. What are we going to get? 5. 7 to the 5th power. Any questions there? Okay. Now, let me ask you this question. What does that mean? What does the 2 mean? I mean, what if I had this? What if I had 7 squared? What would that mean? 7 times 7? So if I have x to the 5th squared, what does that mean? Times, let me write it correctly. It means x to the 5th times x to the 5th, right? And now it looks just like the other problems we've been doing, and that's what? X to the 10th. You follow that? What if you had y to the 6th to the 4th power? What would that mean? Which is y to the what? 24th. What does it seem like's going on now? You're multiplying. You're multiplying them if you have two exponents on the same base. Okay? So, this is the concept kids get most confused. Y to the 6th times y to the 4th, and then y to the 6th raised to the 4th. These are two different problems, okay? What's the answer to this one? Y to the 10th. What's the answer to this one? Y to the 24th. Write this down on your paper so that you will have an example to refer back to. You got it? Okay. 2n to the 5th times 3n to the negative 2. Let's do this example. Okay, guys. Here's what this really means. This really means 2 times n to the 5th times 3 times n to the negative 2. You have 4 things you're multiplying together. The exponents are not attached to the 2 or the 3. 2 and 3 are plain old numbers. They really do have an exponent on them. Do you know what it is? 1. Take the 2 and the 3 and multiply them together. If they don't have exponents that you are combining, you are welcome to multiply them together and you get 6. Now, n to the 5th and n to the negative 2, what do you do with those exponents? And what do you get? N to the 3rd. Okay? Suppose we have 5x times 2y to the 4th times 3x to the 8th. You're welcome to write these down if you think you need to look back at them. Does the 5, the 2, and the 3 have exponents attached that you're going to be combining or working with? The exponents on them are 1. So you need to multiply them together. What's 5 times 2? Times 3. 30. Okay, here's x, here's y, and here's x. You can't combine x's and y's. You can only combine x's and x's, y's and y's. So I'm going to focus on this one and this one. What's the exponent on the first x? 1. I suggest you write that in because if not, I'm afraid you'll forget about it. So what exponent do we have on our x here? 9. And then y to the 4th just kind of gets, if there's nothing to combine it with, you just it tags along. Okay? Tags along. 2y cubed times 7x squared times 2y to the 4th. What about this one? Help me work this one.
Okay, first you're going to combine the non-exponent terms, which is
28, okay. Does y cubed have anything that is like it? Okay. And what does that give you? Okay. What about x squared? Okay, good job. M squared. Gentry, help me do this one. Okay, I can't leave a negative exponent in a problem. Who remembers what to do to fix that? Good. 7 times 10 squared times 4 times 10 to the 5th. Multiply the 7 and the 4. What's that give you? 28. Times 10 to the 7th. Now, fix 28. 28 is not in scientific notation. We'll deal with 10 to the 7th in just a minute, but let's deal with 28 right now. How do you write that in scientific notation? Times 10 to the, that's, y'all are a step ahead of me. I just want to convert this to 2.8 times 10 to the 1st. Then I'm going to write that 10 to the 7th over there. And now you see where the 8 comes from, right? Now I know you can check that with your calculator.
Well, we're missing a small number. Would that be really small or big one?
No, because 28 was bigger than 1, its exponent has to be positive. Okay.
Well, wouldn't it still be positive if you put one?
Mhm.
So it wouldn't really matter because it's 8 bigger.
No, it matters. It has to be 8. Because 28 is bigger than 1, so that exponent has to be.
Oh, the exponent has to be 8.
Now help me do this problem. What's x to the 3rd raised to the 6th power?
Very simple. The exponent has to be 10.
Right. What's this one? Hallie Kate, what do you think about this one? And you get x to the, good. What if I had this? C to the 5th times c to the 3rd to the negative 2 power. Well, let's take care of this first. What's that going to be? C to what power? What do you add them or do you multiply them? What do you do? Multiply those together and you get negative 6. Now what do? Add, and that's c to the negative 1. Can you leave your answer like that? 1 over c. Okay. On page 407, C through 28 even. Okay. You won't have any of this today. That's tomorrow's lesson. But if I don't teach it to you at the same time, you'll try to do what we learned today on every problem. So go ahead and introduce both items. We're going to practice these kind of problems today, and we'll practice those tomorrow. This is your assignment.